Hey, 49ers faithful. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates on our beloved San Francisco 49ers. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any breaking news or exciting updates about the Niners. The news has broken, and it's sending shockwaves through the NFL landscape, as Chris Jones has officially been announced as the newest addition to the San Francisco 49ers defensive line, and fans are already buzzing with anticipation. This isn't just any signing. We're talking about a player whose presence instantly alters the complexion of any defense. Someone whose ability to disrupt offenses and command double teams makes quarterbacks second-guess every snap. The rumors have been swirling for weeks, but now the confirmation is out, and the 49ers faithful are already envisioning a defensive front that can dominate opponents from the first whistle to the final buzzer. Analysts are speculating about how Jones will fit into the 49ers system, with some suggesting he will be the perfect complement to Nick Bosa, creating an interior chaos that could redefine what it means to face San Francisco. It's the kind of move that doesn't just make headlines. It shifts expectations, influencing game plans, free agent strategies, and even draft considerations across the league. People are already debating whether his presence could turn the 49ers into a defensive juggernaut capable of contending at the highest level immediately, and the excitement is palpable. Social media is ablaze with opinions, from fan threads predicting double-digit sack seasons to analysts breaking down his tape and envisioning matchups against division rivals. Everyone seems to agree on one thing. Chris Jones changes the equation, and the ripple effect is just beginning. The signing of Chris Jones by the 49ers is not just about adding another talented defensive lineman. It's about the psychological impact it will have on opposing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, who will now have to reconsider every passing concept and blocking assignment, knowing that someone of Jones' caliber is lining up across from them. His ability to collapse the pocket and generate pressure without requiring constant attention from multiple blockers allows linebackers and secondary players more freedom to make plays, potentially elevating the entire defensive unit. Coaches are already analyzing film, projecting rotations, and strategizing how to maximize his skill set while maintaining the integrity of their schemes. Fans are speculating about the domino effect this could have on the 49ers' approach to the draft, as adding a player like Jones may reduce the urgency to target defensive linemen in upcoming rounds, allowing the team to focus on other areas of need, such as offensive weapons or depth at linebacker. Rumors are also swirling about potential salary cap implications, contract structures, and how this move signals the 49ers' intention to aggressively pursue a championship window. The excitement isn't confined to the Bay Area. Rival teams across the league are taking notice, adjusting their scouting priorities and preparing for the possibility of facing one of the most formidable defensive fronts in football. Social media buzz continues to grow, with highlight clips of Jones' previous seasons resurfacing and fans debating his potential impact in 49ers colors. Every aspect of a league seems to be feeling the tremor from this signing, creating a narrative that will dominate headlines for weeks to come, as everyone anticipates how this talent infusion translates into wins and possibly playoff success. From a tactical standpoint, the addition of Chris Jones creates opportunities that extend far beyond individual matchups. Defensive coordinators are imagining the schemes that could utilize his explosiveness and versatility, from stunts and twists to pressuring quarterbacks off the edge and collapsing gaps with surgical precision. The presence of a game-changing player like Jones forces offenses to adapt, sometimes even altering game scripts, because ignoring him is simply not an option. Analysts are already projecting increased sack totals, quarterback hits, and tackles for loss, with some envisioning a defense that could dominate time of possession and create turnovers at a rate previously unseen. Fans have started creating memes, mock comparisons, and statistical predictions, blending excitement with humor, which reflects the kind of buzz that a signing like this generates organically. Even former players are chiming in on social media, offering insights, tips, and expectations based on their own experiences facing Jones in the league. The ripple effect extends to fantasy football players and betting markets, as projections for sack leaders, defensive rankings, and team performance are being recalibrated overnight. The anticipation of how Jones meshes with Nick Bosa, Javon Kinlaw, and the rest of the defensive front creates storylines that will dominate pre-game shows, post-game analyses, and highlight reels. Conversations are no longer about the 49ers' potential. They're about the certainty that Chris Jones' presence immediately raises the ceiling of this team, and the league is watching closely to see just how high that ceiling goes in the upcoming season. Expectations surrounding Chris Jones' arrival in San Francisco are massive, and the 49ers are acutely aware of the need to manage both performance and perception. This signing doesn't just influence the XS and OS on the field. It's a message to the rest of the NFL that San Francisco is serious about contention, willing to invest in elite talent that can impact games on both a statistical and psychological level. The locker room dynamic is likely to shift as well, as teammates adjust to having one of the most disruptive interior linemen in the league alongside them, and young players can benefit from the mentorship and intensity that Jones brings. Rumors are already circulating about potential trade scenarios, positional battles, and the depth chart adjustments that may follow as coaches seek to ensure maximum alignment with Jones' strengths. Fans are debating how his presence could impact playoff matchups, imagining scenarios where the 49ers' defensive front controls time of possession, pressures elite quarterbacks, and creates game-changing turnovers. Social media is flooded with highlight reels, fan reactions, and statistical breakdowns predicting how Jones' arrival could redefine the team's defensive identity. Analysts are projecting metrics, including sack percentages, pressures per game, and defensive efficiency ratings, with the understanding that these numbers could climb significantly with Jones anchoring the line. Beyond just wins and losses, his presence is expected to influence recruiting, coaching strategies, and even opponent game planning, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the 49ers' home stadium. The excitement is tangible, and speculation is reaching a fever pitch as everyone tries to anticipate the immediate and long-term effects of this blockbuster addition. The media frenzy surrounding Chris Jones' signing continues to intensify as pundits, former players, and fans dissect every angle, from his career trajectory to potential synergies with San Francisco's existing defensive stars. The buzz is not just about the numbers he puts up on the stat sheet. It's about how his skill set fits into a culture and scheme that emphasizes aggression, discipline, and adaptability. Rumors about rotations, situational packages, and specialized roles in passing downs are circulating, suggesting that the 49ers are preparing to leverage every aspect of Jones' talents in innovative ways. Some are speculating that this move signals a new era of defensive dominance for San Francisco, reminiscent of legendary defensive units that changed the balance of power in their respective eras. Fans are creating their own narratives, imagining iconic plays, game-changing moments, and hypothetical matchups that showcase Jones' ability to single-handedly alter outcomes. Sports networks are running special segments analyzing his tape, his athletic metrics, and his potential chemistry with Nick Bosa and the rest of the pass rushers, creating content that fuels further speculation. The anticipation extends to season predictions, playoff seeding, and Super Bowl projections, with many analysts already adjusting rankings to reflect the perceived elevation of the 49ers' defensive potential. Rumors about Jones' leadership style, personality fit, and influence on younger players add an extra layer of intrigue, as fans wonder how this signing will shape the culture within the team. Every facet of the discussion reinforces the narrative that Chris Jones' arrival is not just a roster move, but a seismic event that will reverberate across the NFL landscape, generating talk, excitement, and speculation for months to come. League insiders suggest that the signing of Chris Jones could trigger a wave of reactions across the NFL as rival teams re-evaluate strategies, free agency moves, and draft priorities in response to San Francisco's bold acquisition. The ripple effect is already being felt in mock drafts, trade rumors, and roster speculation, with coaches and general managers considering the impact of facing a defensive line fortified by one of the game's premier talents. Analysts are projecting that Jones' presence may lead to higher sack totals, increased pressure rates, and more turnovers, fundamentally altering how opponents plan their games. Fans are debating the potential statistical milestones he could achieve in 49ers colors, imagining double-digit sack seasons, forced fumbles, and game-defining plays that swing momentum in critical matchups. Social media continues to buzz with expert breakdowns, fan predictions, and heated debates over how this signing affects not just San Francisco, but the NFC West and the league as a whole. Rumors are already circulating about positional battles, potential adjustments to the defensive front, and the strategic deployment of Jones in various packages, highlighting how deeply the team plans to integrate him. The narrative is building, creating anticipation that extends beyond the current season and into future championship windows. Everyone is watching closely, and the excitement is tangible as the arrival of Chris Jones marks a turning point that could redefine expectations, alter playoff scenarios, and elevate the 49ers' defensive identity to unprecedented levels in the coming seasons. As the initial excitement of Chris Jones' signing settles in, speculation is only intensifying about how quickly he will adapt to the 49ers' system and whether his impact will be immediate or grow over time as he builds chemistry with his new teammates. Rumors suggest that coaches are already planning specific game scripts to maximize his explosiveness, using him in stunts, twists, and gap control schemes that can suffocate opposing offenses. Fans are theorizing about his potential role in high-stakes matchups, imagining scenarios where Jones collapses the pocket in crucial third-down situations, forcing quarterbacks into hurried decisions and creating turnover opportunities. Analysts are weighing his fit alongside Nick Bosa and the rest of the defensive front, debating whether this pairing could rival some of the most dominant defensive lines in recent NFL history. Social media threads are exploding with projections, predictions, and even memes as fans try to envision just how disruptive Jones could be week after week. Conversations about draft strategy, salary cap allocation, and long-term planning have begun to circulate as the ripple effects of this signing extend far beyond the immediate season. Coaches, commentators, and analysts alike agree that Jones' addition is not a minor adjustment. It's a seismic shift that could redefine the 49ers' defensive identity and alter how the entire league approaches them on game day, creating excitement, speculation, and anticipation that will dominate headlines for months to come. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Beyond tactical considerations, the signing of Chris Jones is generating a psychological edge that extends to every facet of the game, as opposing teams now have to plan around the possibility of facing one of the most disruptive interior defenders in football. Rumors about how quarterbacks might alter their reads, hand the ball off more quickly, or double-team elsewhere are already circulating among analysts and fans, highlighting the intangible effects Jones can bring to a defense. Coaches are reportedly experimenting with rotations and situational packages in practice, visualizing how to leverage his strengths without overexposing him in high-volume snaps. The locker room dynamic is equally important as teammates adjust to having an elite playmaker alongside them, potentially raising the level of intensity, focus, and accountability throughout the squad. Fans are speculating about leadership, mentorship, and whether Jones will influence younger players' development, creating a culture of competitiveness and excellence. Even fantasy football managers and betting enthusiasts are recalibrating their expectations, predicting higher sack totals, forced fumbles, and a spike in defensive scoring opportunities. Sports media outlets are producing deep dive analyses, reviewing his tape, metrics, and potential combinations with other defenders, feeding the constant cycle of discussion, rumor, and anticipation. The conversation is no longer confined to the 49ers. It's a league-wide debate, as every team in the NFC West and beyond considers the implications of facing a revitalized, fearsome defensive front led by Chris Jones. Speculation about Chris Jones' immediate impact extends to potential playoff scenarios, with pundits envisioning matchups where his presence could decisively swing momentum in critical games, particularly against division rivals or teams with mobile quarterbacks. Rumors suggest that opposing offensive lines are already reviewing film, planning new blocking schemes, and strategizing to mitigate his influence, acknowledging that ignoring him is not an option. Fans are creating hypothetical highlight reels in their minds, imagining game-changing sacks, strip sacks, and tackles for loss in pivotal moments that could define the postseason narrative. Analysts are projecting not just individual statistics, but how the overall defensive efficiency of the 49ers could improve with Jones anchoring the interior line, potentially impacting third down stops, red zone defense, and scoring opportunities for the opposition. Social media engagement is surging, with fans debating whether this acquisition transforms the team into a legitimate Super Bowl contender or merely strengthens an already talented roster. Coaches are reportedly considering situational rotations that could maximize his explosiveness while keeping him fresh for critical stretches, highlighting the strategic planning that accompanies such a high-profile signing. The narrative is evolving rapidly, blending statistical projections with imagination, rumor, and anticipation, as everyone attempts to predict the ripple effects of Chris Jones' arrival and how quickly his presence will translate into tangible success on the field with the San Francisco 49ers. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.